Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the ribbon cutting for the Clear Creek Welcome Center. My name is Blake Dollier, and I'm the Public Relations Director for INDOT West Central. And I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Secretary of Transportation and Infrastructure, Matt Ubelor, to give us a few words to get things started.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. What a beautiful day. We could not have picked this out. I mean, I looked at the weather maps about 3 months ago, and I said, let's do it today. It'll be a good day. So if anyone believes that, you know, I got another story to tell you about. But no, obviously, want to thank everyone for being here. Appreciate the hard work that went into this. I mean, when you go inside and you read the list of contractors that worked on this building, I mean, it is amazing. I mean, I couldn't sit here and name off the name of all of them, but you guys can go in there and see it. But hats off to the people that did the design, the engineering, the work. I mean, it is precise, it's on target, and it's representing the crossroads of America exactly how it should be. So I can't say enough about that. Very good job to all involved here. So I think when it comes to what we're trying to address with these centers like this, we've increased truck parking exponentially, nearly double. And that kind of stuff, when you're talking about an interstate like this that's handling mega loads of goods going from state to state, and they're coming through here through Indiana, and the place for them to park and rest is very, very important. So I think as time goes by, you're going to see more of this in Indiana. We are the crossroads. The governor here behind me keeps telling me, Matt, we're the crossroads, act like it, and I'm going to act like it, and I'm going to go from there. So with that, I want to, again, say thank you again to all in attendance, and I want to introduce our governor of Indiana, Mr. Michael Braun.
I get the honor of seeing so many places across the state, visit all 92 counties each year, and today I had wondered what I was going to come to. But this should be emblematic of a state like ours that is enterprising. I always ask, how do you get stuff like this going? Well, this was broached a little over 2 years ago, and when you've got somebody like our state government and the Speedway that come together and actually get something done, that's what this state is all about. Enterprising, full of business and government, from local to state. And when you got stuff you want to get done, it doesn't take half a decade to get it done. If you can get a project like this completed that quickly, that tells you something about the enterprise in the state. And yes, Crossroads of America is important. We're going to live up to that reputation. We're going to be inviting the businesses not only to come through, but to want to plant their roots here. Just like my goal is to make sure that we make it easy to do business in this state. Their own kids can move back to it and start their families and businesses. This is just one example of it. And we are so blessed to have partners like the Speedway that view it that same way. And when government and business can get along and do something like this so quickly, that's something all of us should be proud of. Now I'm going to introduce Doug Bowles from the Speedway. He'll tell you how he made it possible, and look at what we ended up with. Doug?
I'm going to try this, but nice job, Governor. We know we've got professional folks speaking here that realize I'm just going to step out and appreciate somebody else that has a loud voice. Doesn't necessarily need the microphone, so if it happens again, I'll do the same thing. I do this every time I go speak somewhere and let everybody know that it is 200 days. Today, 200 days away from the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Gainbridge. And as I stand here in the middle of November and it feels like a May Day that I'll take all day long for the Indianapolis 500, I think about all the things that have happened in November in the history of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the center of our state of Indiana. 116 years ago today, there were workers at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway putting down 3.2 million bricks as we changed from the racetrack that was crushed limestone and tar and turned it into what we know as the Brickyard today. In 1945, just a couple of weeks from now, Tony Hallman, who lived here and had a business here in Terre Haute, Indiana, saved the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and bought it from Eddie Rickenbacker. And today the Indianapolis Motor Speedway does not exist but for a Terre Haute businessman who made a commitment that Indianapolis Motor Speedway was an Indiana asset and he was going to build it from his home here in Terre Haute. And I can't believe that we're connected here today in Terre Haute, the entryway from the west side of our state into Indiana, honoring the Indianapolis Motor Speedway that but for a Terre Haute businessman does not exist today. And 6 years ago yesterday, also in November, the Holman George family sold the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Roger Penske. It's amazing all of the things that happened in November, and so we stand here in November today, the front door to our state, a state we all love so much, and we get to showcase the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I want to thank everybody that was involved in this. I remember the day that INDOT came in and said, hey, we've got this crazy idea in terms of a welcome center, and how much we thought this is a great idea, but at some level we thought, would it happen in our lifetime? And to the governor's point, it really takes a state, an energetic state, a state that thinks forward, a group of people to come together to make something like this happen. I do also have to say, November 4th, 25 years ago, I got married to my wife, Beth, and we were supposed to be out of town. And when this ribbon cutting got scheduled this way, I said to my wife a couple weeks ago, I said, you know, that 25th anniversary trip, it's going to be in Terre Haute, Indiana. So thank you, Beth, for allowing me to do that here today. I also want to thank our creative team that's here. So when you go inside, you're going to see a lot of creative elements in there. And when you look at that helmet case there, some of our creative team helped create those. We have an amazing creative team at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Also, Kiffin Simpson, Indy 500 driver and IndyCar Series driver is here today. Kiffin, thank you for being here. I'm part of that. But on behalf of everybody at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, on behalf of Roger Penske, thank you so much for celebrating together the heritage that this state has with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I say always, it's an Indiana asset. It is not an Indianapolis asset. It is an Indiana asset, and we couldn't be prouder to be Hoosiers. The greatest 90 seconds of the year is back home again in Indiana being performed before the start of the race when everybody in that venue is a Hoosier, no matter where they came from. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of the Indiana Department of Transportation, Lindsey Quist. Lindsey?
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Governor Braun and Secretary Ubelor. As Doug mentioned, we are just 200 days from the greatest spectacle in racing, and I couldn't be more excited to officially open Indiana's newest Welcome Center, a state-of-the-art facility inspired by the state's rich racing history, the Indianapolis 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This brand new Welcome Center is part of INDOT's long-term rest area and Welcome Center improvement plan, which aims to enhance and modernize over 20 rest areas and welcome centers and truck parking facilities across the state. Specific to this site, visitors and Hoosiers alike can enjoy interactive exhibits showcasing rich racing history in Indiana, including a replica of the Borg Warner Trophy, a scoring pylon, and of course an actual Indy car. There's a children's playground, a walking path, and a dog park. Additionally, as Secretary Ubelor said, there are additional 78 semi-truck parking spaces as we work to expand access to safe, reliable truck parking for our truckers and logistic partners around the state. Something that we know is in short supply and we are working to remedy. These are just a few of the ways in which our agency works with other state agencies and organizations to give the Hoosier state, Hoosier hospitality and make Indiana a premier travel destination with more places for travelers to rest, relax, and recharge. INDOT is honored to be joined by those that have spoken today, including Governor Braun, IMS President Doug Bowles, and IndyCar driver Kiffin Simpson. Thank you all for being here. And before we cut the ribbon, I want to take a moment to name some of our partners. There is a larger list inside, but our general contractor, Hanig Construction, from right here in Terre Haute, Indiana, our architect, Synthesis, our lead engineer, Jansen and Spons, Applied Engineering Services, our structural engineer, Fink, Roberts, and Petrie, Aegis Group for our utility engineering, Metric Environmental, our landscape architecture by Ratio, and our special partners for the exhibits, Hamilton Exhibits and Bomar Industries. We also want to thank several of other state, federal, and local partners, including the Indiana Department of Administration and the State Budget Agency. And last but not least, my INDOT team, who has worked tirelessly to get this new facility across the finish line. So without further ado, I would invite our designated representatives to come up and cut the ribbon. Thank you.
We should put the governor in the middle.
Feel free to rearrange.
Squeeze together.
You got it.
Thank you, everyone. We'd like to invite everyone inside to check out the Welcome Center, and we do have some cookies and water. Thank you for attending today.